trying to break my opponent down right here. I can't ignore this, man. So I'm gonna move on to open guard. So when I decide I'm gonna go to open guard, I'm gonna go ahead and make the double grips. Right? I don't want to just open my guard and not have grips. He's gonna grab my pants. If I just do this, he's gonna, right away, he's leading the dance. He's gonna attack. Right? So when I come off the collar, I control the sleeves. Feet to the hips, right? Knees as wide as I can get them, even though there's no direct attack coming to me. I just want my knees. This is a habit. It's just good to get into. I'm gonna hip escape out. I'm gonna lasso in. When I lasso in, I put my foot to the hip or back of the shoulder, and I start to draw him in. The important feature here is right here. As I set it, I'm gonna turn my palm up, chambering my elbow to my hip. If I don't do that and I just come here, he's just gonna circle. It's never gonna work out for me. It's just gonna get right out. So a strong lasso, I'm chambering, I'm flaring my knee, chambering the elbow, and turning my palm away from my thigh. So I would have this also. He made this grip right here. I'm gonna immediately address it. You have to. I can't just ignore it. I address it by putting my foot to the bicep. Right here. So, elbows chambered, palm is facing away, knee is flared, and I've addressed this side too by just putting the foot on the bicep right at the bend of the elbow. So this is our first setup right here. Just coming to this. I'm lassoed in, I'm controlling. I'm gonna take the lasso out. So remember all the key features. I'm pulling, hand is turned up right here. So I'm in a controlled position. My toes are kind of pointing to the ground. I'm not just here squared, I'm here. And I'm pulling this arm with my foot, top of my foot. I'm gonna take the lasso out. I'm gonna whip it around. As I whip it around, my right foot is gonna kind of go diagonally out this way, as opposed to back that way. I'm gonna take him in a kind of a pendulum scissor sweep. So I pendulum this way, chop him down, and bring him over. So I got right to my elbow. I didn't just stay down, got straight to the elbow, and I'm remaining with tension on his bicep here. That's gonna slow him down from getting up. So I'm gonna go ahead and shoot my foot through and sit up to this position. And from here, gripping the shin. I could roll or just lock the triangle here. If you can't get it, go ahead and make the roll and lock the triangle. From here, take my lasso out, bring him over, come up, grip the shin, roll, lock it down, make the finish.
On the bicep. So when I hit the sweep, so I let go, I pendulum my leg around, so I move here. I try to sweep him, but what happens sometimes is he lands on his elbow. All right, so my legs have to be like whips here. I have to shoot my leg, this leg over his shoulder, and this one has a connect. So I just shoot my leg over and then lock my legs. One thing you shouldn't do is especially if he's a bigger guy, let this come up to my lapel. I would hold this down so it doesn't try to smash my knee to my face, right? If you're flexible, you could get away with it, right? But if you're not, do not let him touch your collar. I'm flexible, so I would kind of welcome it here, pull the arm across, ears, start hitting my ankles, and then finish with the triangle, all right? Or sometimes you'll tip over and you could finish the triangle on the top, so check it, all right? Keeping everything tight, sweep out, try to sweep him, he falls over. I have to shoot this, especially if they have this grip. I have to shoot my leg as hard as I can. Here, and lock my legs. Here, have my shin, start angling, lock it in as tight as I can. You have the arm bars here, but I would never let go of my triangle. Keep the triangle, all right? Lasso. So it's gonna be hard to slide your foot in if he's just sitting there, right? But usually when you guys are rolling, the guy's trying to drive towards me, right? So it's gonna be really easy to get this hook.
Take a look at this foot too, guys. It's not just lazy. It's blocking, so I can't post out. That's why he's hooking my leg over here.
My toes, everything's hooking on this.
It's not just here. It's blocking.
So the sweep just by itself, the sweep is my knee going, or my foot going flat on the floor. This is the sweep here. That's the sweep. So I'm in this angle here. I'm trying to fight. I like to always try to check this at first. So now I'm gonna go right to the belt. So I could try to push, go foot on the shoulder, and go right to the belt. So the belt pulls him on top of me. I start pushing him away, break this grip. I X, just like the X path here. I X here, bring him on top, and then flatten my foot out. It's gonna be all at the same time. It sends him right over.
Not leaving this inside.
What's that?
Not leaving the knee inside.
Oh,
Come up.
don't, yeah. I'm not gonna come up with my knee on the inside. Don't, this here. All right. I come up with my knee out here and looking for pick control. Put all your weight on this knee here. Not so much where I'm leaning on him because I don't want to get rolled over. Here, I'm on my knee. I'll scoop this arm up. Here, turn my knee away from him, and then I'll start kicking that top knee here to get this one free. All right. So one more time. Start trying to create some space. So I'm gonna start pushing this out and then throw this one in. Here, grab the belt, push him away. Come up like a butterfly sweep. All right. These toes are gonna go on the mat, and I come up to my head and my shoulder. Now I'll drop my knee right to the floor. Here. For Pummel, you can start pulling up on his wrist, switch to the elbow, slide my knee away, and then boot this top knee here. All right.
Circle. Elbow positioning, staying balled up right here, kind of balled up. I'm gripping him in the back with my feet too and bringing him to me. So I'm controlling posture to a degree. Always making sure this doesn't float in. It's always flared out. I get here, I kick through, throw the leg up, and I grip foot out, bring the foot out, and bring it back. Right here, I let go. 2 hands into the sleeve, and I just stretch my back. Circling. If he's not letting go, use your head. Get to the sleeves. Feet to the hips, conscious of our knee position. Lasso to spider. Spider lasso. So get to the back of the. And this is gonna this is done quickly. When I make these attacks, it's fast. I don't hesitate. I get right to the elbow. So I don't want him just pulling this out. So it would be really fast. It'd be right here. Oh, and I got it. Circle. Now it's trapped. Foot comes out, and I start to hip escape out. I'm gonna let go back of the collar. 2 hands into this sleep, and I start to stretch him out. Obvious things here are if he's a big guy and he's fighting, I'll just set the triangle back up and let him come up.
So here, all right, my knee stays flared. If I'm lazy here, he's just gonna smush my knee down, and it's a easy pass for him once he smashes my knee. So I always keep my knee flared. Sometimes I put it on the hip. All right, so if I see him trying to drive his shoulder, I'll take my lasso out a little bit, but I still keep this very tight. All right. So what we're gonna do here is we'll go foot on the bicep on this side. So this foot could kind of go anywhere. So if he has really good posture, right, I'll go foot on the hip and I'll start messing with his posture. All right. If he has bad posture, I'll go foot on bicep and just kind of stretch him out. But if he's really trying to sit up and then fight hard, then I'll stretch him out here. Foot on the hip. All right. So I like to slip this to the lapel. let go and grab the elbow. Once I do that, I kick my leg through. Right away, I have to knee the back of his elbow here. Alright, so I'm just pinching my knees. My fist could be a wall, right? So he can't drive his head close to me. Alright, I'm just gonna start pushing him away, and then I'm just gonna throw my foot over his head. 1, 2, alright. So I like to always check the hip so he doesn't cartwheel over, and I have to be heavy as I can on this top leg here. I want that shoulder on the mat, so here. And I just start moving away. It's not really just sitting up and turning. I start moving away right away. Right now I'll turn my feet away from me and then sit up and get the submission here. You could grab onto the material, start sitting up, and you'll get the tap. Right. Go double sleeve, feet on the hips, angle. My knee is here. Let go, grab the lapel, pull his head down, grab on the outside of my knee, or the outside of my thigh, and I kick my leg through. Now I knee the back of his elbow here. All right, my fist is a wall again. Step over, slide my foot out. All right, heavy as you can with this top leg. Here, I'm trying to drive my thigh, the back of my thigh to the floor. Move my hips away, and then sit up and get the submission.
With my foot, I bring him to me. So there's a couple things going on here. I'm using my foot. My knees must stay wide. My knee cannot travel inside, or it's very easy to get smashed and beat. I must stay flared at my knees and chambering the elbows. So these are things that just you have to do consciously at first, but over time you just doing it over and over, you just subconsciously start to do these things. So first basic attack, I like to get off. The guy stays on his knees right here. I'm just gonna let go of the lasso. I'm gonna quickly get to his elbow, and I'm gonna kick right through. Place my foot on his hip. Don't let it float. You won't have the same effect. I put my foot on the hip, and I pinch into his shoulder blade, and I shut this down. Gives me a great amount of control here. So you see it's brought his posture down, and I'm primed for several attacks. But in this case, since I'm already right here, I'm gonna just kick through and grip and lock my triangle. So from here, his arm's in the wrong, on the side right here. I worry about that last. Most important feature of a triangle is get to this position here, lock it. So whatever means, I got an angle, I'm gonna lock it, and we worry about this last. This is the most important feature. Once it's locked, easiest way to get this through is slide through with the hips and bring it over. And I can make final adjustments, always by grabbing and angling. And for kids, let's see, adults here, sometimes kids is here too. When I lasso, I take my foot into the shoulder blade, rear delt, and I turn my hands and chamber my elbows. Gives me just the moment I need. I don't, of course, this is not where, he's not gonna accept this either. You know, he's always gonna be trying to fight the grips. But it gives me just the moment I need. So I brought him in. I'm not flat on my back, I'm on my side. I'm gonna quickly get here. So if he tries to pull out now, it's easy for me to just kick through. Levering off the hip, and I start to shut this really tight. From here, I'm gonna kick, grip, and I'll start to get angles. When I want to get this arm out, I would move this way, start to get inside, and then lift it over. Final adjustments, and make the finish. So, one more time.
I hit my angle, my hand came up, just like I was explaining yesterday. If I leave it right here, he's gonna grab my leg, probably hit the X pass. But so here, it's gonna be hard for him to grab, and it's gonna give me the time I need to lasso in. So This foot's gonna come out and then hook his armpit here. And then I kinda hook his back and pull him towards me. So the most common thing, especially if you're going against bigger guys, the guy on top is gonna grab the knee and start forcing it down, right? So maybe I wasn't controlling good and he was able to force my knee into this position. All right, so I have to do a couple things. I use my knee as a frame here. I'm still keeping his wrist by my, in between my legs. I'm never letting his wrist slip out. If his wrist slips out, I lose everything, right? I mean, there's sweeps that we could do, but I don't want that right now. All right, so I keep this as tight as I can. This one is controlling the sleeve because I'm worried about the lapel grip from here. Once he locks onto my lapel, he could fall onto his hip and he's basically past my guard. So I'm always stiff arming this down, all right? So what we're gonna do right now is just kind of bring your head towards his knee, and I use the sweep is my leg, but it's mostly just planting my foot on the floor. So this foot, that foot that's hanging on the outside, it's mostly just planting that on the floor. So I grab the knee here, and I just plant my knee on my foot on the floor, and it tips him over. I'm not launching him in the air or anything crazy. It's just tipping him over with my knee. All right. Once I do that, watch out for the bicep slicer and watch out for half guard, right? So I would come hug the face here, step out, lift my hips, let go of the bicep slicer, and then look for pit control on this side here. All right. I'm trying to break his posture here, nothing's working. So get your grip back. 4 fingers on the outside, both feet on the hips. I hit my angle. He starts trying to smash my leg, hook his leg, grab his knee, and now plant this foot on the floor here. And I plant, and then now I use my hips to kind of tip him over. All right. If I come straight up, so if I come up like this, I'm in a good half guard, deep half guard for him. He's just gonna start swimming here. All right. If you do this, just be ready to long step right away, something crazy. It's gonna turn into a scramble and get swept right back over. So here, hug his head. Here, I'm still on my hip. I kick my leg out here. And now I start pushing his knee. And then now check the hip. Same thing, I never really want my knee down, pointed this way. All right, I always want my knee flared out. I don't go too deep because sometimes when you go really deep, it lets his shoulder go by my knee, and it's kind of easy to crush down. So I always kind of try to gauge what's going on here. So if I see he's not really trying to crush my knee down, maybe I'll go a little deeper, but as soon as I read that he's trying to crush my knee, I'll slide it out. All right. So I'm keeping this one stretched out. What we're gonna do here is just switch our grip to the pants. All right. So if they have tight pants, just try to get some your fingers in some material here and lock on here and lift it. I like to go elbow in for the lift. All right. So right now, just kind of control the distance. I could be here, but when I lift, I'm gonna go elbow in. So another thing I'm gonna do is drop this hook on the hip. All right. Because it's a trap. If he tries to come this way towards me, tries to pass my guard this way, I'm gonna launch him. He gave me what I wanted. All right. If he grabs, it's go time. I don't want to sit here and wait too long, especially if he grabs and just let him fall to his hip and then eventually pass. It might be too hard. All right. So as soon as I see him grab, I launch. So what I mean by launch, I push, I pull him on top of me with the lasso here, and I bring him right onto my shin here. And also my elbow goes in so I can lift his leg up. Push, I'll get that pull here and lift. He's riding on my shin right here. All right, just continue on here. All right, so make sure this foot by the hip, I like to bring it right behind my butt so I could push myself forward here. Just base, I like to lift my hips over his arm and then kick my leg out so I don't have to sit there in the bicep slicer. And then come up with good pit control and head control. I'm gonna see someone here. This is never gonna work when you're rolling. Always angle. So I put my foot on my bicep so I can get a really good angle. And then hook in and start stretching my knee out here. So this is pushing, and this my toes back here is pulling. All right. So I'm gonna so it's not this. It's not that. All right. It's gonna be pants, then this. All right. As soon as I see that, it's go time. Here, give a push, pull them on top of you, lift, and take them over. Here. Toes. Oh, sorry. All right. So just lift your hip over the bicep slicer here. All right. Everything's gonna be the same. I'm already angled here, so I'm just gonna go straight for the pants. All right. So once I get that, I'll drop my hook. So I'm gonna still launch him. As soon as I see that, I try to launch him over. So I still pull, and this happens here, that base. All right, so he's on top of my knee. Here, I'm just control the back of the elbow, and I'm gonna straighten out this leg here, over this way. And at the same time, I have to punch his leg down. All right, if you don't do that, he's just gonna use his foot as a base. So I block this base, I push this down, and I straighten out my knee. And then follow him up. All right, depending how we land or if it's a scramble, right? I have the arm triangle here. I can just kind of flatten him out. And I have it just hop over on this side. Yeah, I could just start moving on him right away. But I just want you guys to land on top. Okay. Right, here's a good position. Stretch him out here. Go to the pants, just like we did earlier. Drop my hook. I try to launch him over. I see this. So just grab and then straighten out my legs. I'm looking toward, so I'm rolling, looking towards his head. All right. That's how you're just gonna go over the opposite shoulder. So I turn and I roll over this shoulder and look towards him. All right. So drop my knee to the floor. Go in between his arms, hug his head, flatten him out. Of course, for the arm triangle, we'll jump all the way over to get this.
Feet on the hips, sliding out. Start to work my lasso guard. He drops, he gets through, he's able to get here. So right here, I want to keep my right hand through, attach, come through, attach to the shoulder, keep it pulled down tight. He shouldn't be able to pull that arm out at all. If he tries, this arm is stuck. It's stuck. All I have to do at this point is start to flare my knee just a little bit. Doesn't take much. The knee just flares out as I pull down hard. So pretty simple. You guys got it? On to it. 1, 2, 3. Damon's gonna start to go his part.
Same thing as last time here. I pin the leg down here, and I want to come into this here. Right here, I'm just trying to close the distance, right? I'm just trying to smash here. Eventually try to reach for the lapel, but I can't right now because it would be countering me.
So there's some things I'm not gonna let happen. I'm not gonna let my knee go past his crotch inside. Not gonna let this happen. That's not gonna happen. He has my hand, he's shoving it. I'm gonna be like punching his forearm right here. I'm gonna quickly get into the collar, not too deep. Going right to the collar. Right here, I can still frame too, so I have the ability to move my head in and out. I'm not gonna sit here and let him just grip my head control and drop his hip. All right, so I'll be moving in and out. From here, I'm gonna take him, bring him down, because he's probably gonna be driving here anyway. I'm gonna start pinching my knee to the back of his neck, right here. This grip can't be too deep. You don't wanna be way back here. Just maybe right above the collarbone. So I'm here. I'm gonna let go of the lasso and come right to the loop. So I'm pinching his head down, my knee, and I looped. Just be lazy with the lasso, bring him to you, and I'm here.
So all I'm doing is just shoving this in between my legs. That's the easiest way to break it down there.
Yeah, I'm controlling that grip. I am stiff arming this down, his grip initially. I'm gonna come into the collar and get here. Take my knee, start to bring him down with my knee, and I'm gonna loop under as soon as I let go. Right here, and I'm pinching down right here. So tight. Start to get to the bicep and playing spider and lasso. So this one, just like a couple of the moves we did from the double knees, there's a couple sweeps we did where we transition out of, and the same here. Same here. When I see this leg is up, I can start to transition out quickly for quick attacks. Right? So here I want to have them spread, and you're always using your toes, right? This isn't just kicking. I'm always using my toes, gripping with my toes, and I always like to keep my heel driven up. That places my knee downwards. This is not the same effect as this. This is important. This is something that you watch the top guys, they're never gonna be like this. They're always driven with their knee downwards. It just goes along with always keeping your legs spread. You know, if I'm got my knee facing parallel to the ground, it's not the same as this. So this one right here, I'm gonna de-lasso. I'm gonna take my lasso out and come straight to hooking his shin. So I was here. I'm gonna take the foot out, quickly hook the shin. From here, I'm gonna kick him out and lift. And I'm gonna shoot the triangle. So basic shin on shin, triangle, transitioning, seeing it from the lasso and attacking it. So one more time, we're sliding out, we're lassoing in, he takes a knee. I start to spread him out, straight to foot on bicep. From here, I'm gonna take the foot out, circle, hook, and square up. And I kind of bent this leg because I'm gonna shoot him out. So from here, I shoot him out by turning to the side, and that makes it easy to lift this. Go back. If I just try to do it here, he's heavy. There's no way I'm gonna lift that. No way. I feel it's almost impossible. I shoot him out, made it light. Take this one over the back. That allows me to get my hips into his armpit, and I can shoot the triangle quick. I'm gonna make a grip switch. When I let go of this sleeve, his left hand, I can't just let go and let him attach and start to smash, get up on his feet. He'll start to smash here. So when I let go, I'm gonna kind of check that for a second. I'm gonna move back a little bit. I'm not gonna just stay here where it's just gonna be a battle for that grip. Since I let it go, he's gonna do something with it. He's not gonna just do nothing with that hand. He has a free hand now. I had it tied up. So I wanna check it to keep it off my collar. So I'll move back a little. Don't do this, man. You're out of the fight. You're gonna get smashed. So I'm here, I'm still in the fight. I'm just gonna move back just enough. I'm gonna make this grip here, crossing over. I could come into the collar. I want that sleeve back, but I wanted to exchange grips. If I can't get to it, I'll get into the collar and start to move them around right here. I'll make this grip right here. So to do the roll to the triangle, I come up to my elbow, controlling both. Just make a fist into that forearm right there, controlling, and I have this one. I'm gonna drop the foot to the outside. I'm gonna come up to my knee. Now I'm gonna do a shoulder roll, my right shoulder back through, and I'm gonna spin right into the triangle. So my hips must stay up too. I cannot let my hips come back down. So when I roll through, I spin, and I lock the triangle. And here I can finish him. Correct form here. I go to my grip switch, coming in, pull him, coming here, spin, and get the triangle, make your finish. I'm gonna scoot out a little bit, make a grip change quickly. Ready to fight here. If I have to fight, if I have to draw in the hand, I can use the collar, but come and grip to the sleeve. Dropping the foot to the outside, right at the knee. opening my knee, swing, but he ducks. And from here, we finished yesterday with some arm locks here, but for whatever reason, this time, maybe he's just staying tight. I'm not in the omoplata configuration here, right? Omoplata's over here. Over here, I'd have to fight to get this back over here. And guys aren't just gonna let you do it. So on this one, I'm gonna turn away and sit up. Turn away and sit up. I wanna drop this foot inside. I'm gonna plant my hand to the ground. I'm looking this way. All the attacks yesterday were facing him, even omoplatas I would be facing. So from here, I'm gonna jump back to the back. From here, from this position here, I'm gonna come back to the arm and attack the arm right here. So I'll make my first attack here. If he rolls, just almost expect it. I'll finish it here. When I let go, I move away a little bit, just a little bit. I'm aware of this hand. I'm coming here, nice and tight. He can't just pull out. If he wants to pull out, it's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna gain control of this sleeve. If he's gripping, then it's already there, it's a gift. All I gotta do is drop my foot to the outside. Opening up, spinning through, going after the triangle. He ducks the head, scoot out, so scoot your hip out a little bit. Drop this one inside. So this one just drops inside. My hand is gonna come to the ground and I'm gonna kick this leg back and push myself off the ground. So I'll push myself off here. Trying to get the hook. Come back. Come into the inverted armbar or belly down armbar. Make your first finish here. Rolls. Sitting up. Make the finish here. And turned up. So you're not gonna rip the grip right here. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. You're not in the proper angle. You're gonna have to turn, rip it, come back. And just know that he wants to grip and block it, block the grip. So just like yesterday, he's gonna go ahead and stand up on me, right? Or stand up, or he could be kneeling, it doesn't matter. In this case, if I'm trying to hook just like yesterday, it kind of brings your knee in. We always say one of the principles of lasso guard is keep your knee wide as possible. But for this one, like we did yesterday, I drop it in. Sometimes guys can get a jump on you and they can start to smash the leg. If it does, I'm not gonna leave my leg between his leg. I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna drop it to the outside right here. So once I drop it to the outside, I'm gonna drop my foot too. My foot is here. And usually they're gonna be driving and trying to pass. You just gotta block. Keep them blocked out. I can post to the shoulder. If he gets my head here, he's done. All you gotta do is twist, switch his base on me. He's passed. He's passed. This is basically like a long step right here. So I wanna block. Keep him blocked at the shoulder or biceps. So as he's driving through, my foot is to the ground. I'm just gonna turn in. Turning in, and it's gonna end up in the same position where we were yesterday. So from here, I want a triangle, get nice and deep, and you want to come to this grip. It's hard to break it here, but if I come here, I can really torque. If you're here pulling, you're not in the proper, it's hard. It's not the proper angle. Here, two hands, and I could break it. Some guys will run. If he does make it all the way up, I just keep going. He's probably gonna go back. If I keep torquing, he's going straight back. And then I can still finish it here. So just stay with it. You could switch to the omoplata, but I would stay with it. Stay with the arm. Right? I'm preventing the grip. He raises the leg, or even if he stands up. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna drop inside right here. I gotta keep him away from my head. I don't want him getting head control. As I'm dropping to the inside, he gets the jump on me and starts crushing my knee. I move to the outside. I start to block. Foot down as he's driving in. All I'm gonna do is block at the knee, foot to the ground, and just like always, these work a lot better when your opponent's actively trying to pass. So as he's driving in, I'm gonna switch back. You see how much more he flies when he's actively trying to pass. Immediately lock. So right here, the triangle, you see I'm flat. My back is not, I'm not doing this. I'm to the side, look. This foot is angled, you see my back is off the ground. Now I can go here and start to attack with this grip. Attack at this angle. So no matter where he goes here, you got a good attack on him.
Spider guard. So try to hook his crotch here, because it works when he's standing. Crotch or even the far leg. All right. And once I have that, then you could go to the lapel. All right. So in the middle, this leg, it doesn't feel too strong, but on this side feels pretty good. All right. And I'm keeping my knee like a frame. So the momentum I need is him moving forward. So you could kind of rock. If he's leaning back, I could rock forward and then pull him up. But usually they're gonna be driving here, trying to get my knee together. So I just hip escape this way and then kick him over. Kick him over with this one. I keep hitting him with this one, but it's mostly this here. All right. And then right here, once I do this, just straighten out his arm. And now it's a tight grip here because I'm using both my legs, but I'm just pinching my leg hard where it's a grip, grabbing his arm, and then now I could try to crank the arm. All right.
He'll pull back, and that's where he's gonna come up and come get me. Some guys will pull back right here, but most are gonna drive. I would say maybe sitting back, and this is where he's gonna launch me too by just laying back.
So, like I said before, here, if my foot doesn't fit, start moving around, push him here, and then make sure you throw in a good solid hook on the inside here. All right. So my foot is hooking his thigh. All right. So when I'm gonna go for this, I'm gonna start turning to this side because I want to throw in a good hook here. All right. And I don't do this here and just sit here because he has a really good attachment right here to my collar. So right away I have to turn and get up to my shoulder as quick as I can. All right. So I act like I'm gonna spin through. So when my hand goes in, I'm spinning under and getting onto my shoulder as fast as I can. So I have this here. I'm pushing this, keeping this away from my collar, of course. Here I could push him back. I swim my hand in and I come up. My butt has to come off the floor here. All right. My knee has to stay flared out. My knee can't come like this. All right. My knee stays out. I have to keep my grip. This grabs my knee or my shin. All right. And everything that's the mechanics here is just touching my back to the floor. So I have to have my back off the floor, my lower back off the floor, and then launch him over. All right. So keep this the whole time. All right, swivel this in here. I'm gonna just try to drive my way up. You have the bicep slicer. All right, so I can hug the head, lift my hips over his wrist to skip the bicep slicer, and then secure my position here. All right. I would keep my hand. Comes up, sits up to combat base. All right, so I can't get it in, so push him away. Here, then get a good hook. Now it's go time. If I know I'm gonna go for this. All right, if I do it like this, he's already gonna grab my lapel. All right, so here, come all the way up like this. Grab my knee. Now I use my hip so I could push. Start driving him over. Kick out, hug the head. Push his legs to the side and secure side control. Here I scoot away foot on the bicep, my lasso goes in on the opposite side. Alright, if my head's over here, my lasso has the perfect angle for my lasso. Alright, so yesterday the guy was coming up with a combat base, right? So we kind of pushed him away here and kind of opened it up so I could go inside De La Riva. I come on the inside here and I bring my hip up. And in this case here, he's kind of sitting back. So yesterday we swept him over this way, and then I spun and took his back. Or tried to. Alright, so now when I come in, I'm just gonna take my leg out. So this leg's in here. I just spin and take my leg out, and I just continue my spin all the way around here, locking my triangle as tight as I can. So it's combining two moves we've already done. Foot into his armpit or foot on the bicep, and I have to move him. I have to push him away. Here, now I could throw an inside De La Riva hook. Alright. So, trying to get my toes on his thigh, and I'm never letting this touch my lapel. This lapel here. Alright. Once he does that, it makes things hard. Alright, so I always kind of keep this back. Alright. And he's not gonna really want to reach for it, especially if he sees you keep grabbing it, because I have sweeps off of this. Alright. But right now we're just gonna go in with the inside De La Riva. Alright, so I don't do this slow. I have to come up right up to my shoulder as fast as I can. If you do it slow, it's not gonna be right. So I hook and I come all the way up to my shin here. Alright. Or I go to the crook of my elbow here. So yesterday we went with the sweep forward.
With the sweep, now I sit. Because I know that sweep is there. I sit. So I'm trying to avoid the sweep, and I'm sitting so I can maybe try to start taking some of this apart. Maybe use my foot. Who knows?
Right. So even if he doesn't sit, it still works. But all I'm gonna do is just spin in between his leg here. So I come through. This hand goes into the pants. 4 fingers on the inside. Here, I'm kind of cupping his leg so he doesn't kick out. This is gonna swing in, and I don't even let this touch the mat. I let it touch the mat, he's gonna be able to scramble. I have to kick his leg all the way out. All right, now I seatbelt in. All right, first hook's gonna probably be on this side, 1, and then second hook. All right, now I can start finishing with the choke. Both feet on the hips, foot on the bicep. Here I have my lasso. He sits up, he sits into combat base. So inside De La Riva, I can't find a hook. Here, push him away. Now I find the hook. All right. When I go for this, I don't stop here. I push him away again, come all the way up, and then I just go right through. If he sits right here, it's already too late. All right. If he stays on his knees, it's still too late. You could go back to your knees and you just do the same thing. Here, swim. Makes it easier for me. Alright. But if he goes to his knees, keep everything the same. Seat belt, pull him back, get a hook, slide in the other hook, and then choke him from here. Alright. My lasso, or my foot on the bicep, and my lasso, he stood up, so I went a little deeper. If he's not standing the way you like, so I want this leg in front, right? If he's not standing the right way, so if he's standing maybe with this foot in front, here, I would probably do other stuff, or foot on the hip and start stretching him out here, and work him make him step where you want to step, right? And then inside De La Riva, start pulling him in. Now I push him back, come up to my shoulder, take my leg out, pass it around to this hip. Here. Once you have this, you guys will be able to see how powerful it is. You can sweep them over. So all I have to do is drop my hips here. Pretty easy. Now, 2-on-1 here. I have to kick my leg over. here.
Stretch with your elbows up.
Up here. So, and then be careful right there, because that's when you don't start trying to crank.
He could get it right here. Just lift his hips.
Yeah.
It's deep.
Yeah. All right. So, one more time. So both feet on the hips, I make space, foot on the bicep, lasso on the opposite side. All right, so he stood up. I could even check his hip right now, start
And if they-
this. All right, now go inside De La Hiva. Here, I push him away. Here, don't stop. All the way up, take my foot out, and then pass it in. And now I just drop my butt to the floor. Alright, back to 2-on-1. So grab the material and I pull as hard as I can, but I have to kick this over. So be careful while you guys are drilling it. Here, put this up, pull, but his wrist. His armbar escape is gonna be turning this way, huh? So I turn his wrist this way, and then try to take the armbar.
Grips. Hang out. Lasso, hands up. Bring the weight over. Enter. Get the foot. Come here. Straighten your legs. I can let go once I do this. Bring it down. So from here, form a pocket right here. Form a pocket and put your weight right here. So fist right here. And I'm gonna let go. Coming up to this. From the leg, jump to this. So once I see he reaches up, this grip is gonna become a plant, hug, kick. So I'm kind of just sitting. And your foot should be right here, right behind. So you're just basically sitting on your opponent right here. Step. Nice and tight. In, make your way over, down, lock it right here, here.
It's gonna be hard. If I just try to go De La Hiva here, he has control, so he's gonna break my De La Hiva off right away, right? So, angle off, kick out, and then go De La Hiva. When I let the sleeve go, it's go time. I'm not gonna sit here and play around in De La Hiva. It's go time because he's just gonna push on my shin and pop the De La Hiva out. So I have this right now. Foot goes on his thigh, especially if he's squatting. I let go, grab his ankle, and I go. I lift my hips here. My leg goes all the way to his hips. My toes hook, and I drop him over this side. If maybe you want to go for the first one, you're thinking about the first one, you're trying to look for the knee, and he sits. Here, just bring my hip up, pass my leg through, here, and I have the omoplata triangle. Pretty much everything's there, right? If you go for the triangle and you miss his head, just control his hip belt. Here, get that shoulder on the mat, sit up, and then now I'll scoop my hip away, both feet away from me. All right, go for the wrist, the lapel, anything just to pull yourself up this way, and I pretend my knee touches the mat, and he'll tap before that. So, all right, lasso, angle, break the grip, De La Hiva. Now, I'm already gonna put my foot here, so I know it's go time. Here, lift my toes, drive them over my head, and then I just remove my leg. All right. For the upper belts, if you want the omoplata here, especially if he hops up to his knees right away, go ahead and drop your knee here, and then start climbing. All right. And you guys know this one, especially the upper belts here. Just start sitting up. Get the tap, you have the choke, you can pull it back on top of you. A lot of options here. All right, so we're gonna try to get to De La Hiva and combine it with the lasso like we did yesterday, right? So if I try to go De La Hiva from here, it's not gonna work. Here, I don't have the room. I have to be able to, I have to move my butt all the way by his foot. Now I could break the grip. and then go De La Hiva. Alright. So my De La Hiva, I'm trying to hook my toes. I'm trying to hook my toes on his ribs or his thigh, and I'm keeping the lasso. My lasso might even go even deeper, a little bit here. All right. Another good thing to do is put it on his hip. Let's say he's crowding me too much here. I could put it on his hip and kind of push him away if I need to. And of course, I'm going to be grabbing his hand. I mean his ankle the whole time. So if you ever feel crowded here, my De La Hiva is a push, and my my foot on the hip is a push too. Here, I can push him away. All right. So we hit a sweep from here yesterday, but we're gonna work a combo from what we did a couple weeks ago. So when I'm in this position, sometimes here, the guy knows how to kill the De La Hiva, so he pops my De La Hiva out. All right. So all I'm gonna do is the lasso just hooks right here, and you guys should already see what I'm gonna go for. I let go of his ankle, grab his lapel, and you send him flying here. All right. Send him over this way here. So I have to move my hip. My hip's kind of this way. When I grab the lapel, I start moving my hip this way, and I kick as hard as I can. So I push off the floor, and I kick with this hook up this way, and I give a pull all at the same time. Alright. So now I won't keep my leg up here. I'll drop it down to the floor. Alright, start sitting up here. It's just gonna depend on how he scrambles. Sometimes I end up in half guard here. Alright. So it just all depends, right? But try to end up in side control. Alright. So controlling, make his hand can't come out. So in order for me to get to the De La Hiva, I have to move my butt over there. So I move my butt towards the foot, kick this grip off. All right. Now I lasso. Now I De La Hiva. All right. Go to the ankle. Here, this foot's kind of checking that hip if he's crowding me. All right. So he pops my De La Hiva out.
So let me give you the technique on this, because not everyone's familiar. This is De La Hiva. What I have to do is try to get my toe pointed out. It's very difficult when you have this. I mean, it's not as easy as regular De La Hiva, because I'm tied in here, but I gotta try to point my toe out. So right here, I try to get my toe out, and I'm gonna give a punch. So I have this grip. This is gonna be the best grip you get. Your fist should be right in the shin. So I'm here. This is the direction he wants. He wants my foot this way. He wants to be cranking my heel, so I can't put my knee out. I'm gonna turn, and I'm gonna just pop it off.
So right when I do that, right when he does that, I just move my foot to the leg. Here, my foot touches the floor. I move my hips out a little bit, and now I push off the floor with this foot, and then kick in the air with this one here. So pull, kick. If he tries to turn back into me this way, just keep this. It's gonna be really hard for him to turn in. So if he's trying to turn in, here, sorry. It's gonna be real hard for him to come all the way back on top if I keep this. And you have the bicep slicer, right? So if I can get my foot out, here I have the bicep slicer for the upper belts. All right. If you guys don't wanna go for that here, I would just keep this sleeve here and then lift my hip. And then try to flatten them out from here.